Udaipur is a fairly, a desert environment. It's very arid and very dry, and they're very, it doesn't get very much rainfall throughout the year, and there are a few existing wells which provide water to the residents year-round. So we were entrusted with a project to design some community toilets for a small town outside of Udaipur. It has no toilet, it has no sanitation facility at the moment. The villagers use the fields, and this has become an issue because the village is expanding and is in need of sanitation. Their bore wells are getting contaminated, as is their well, which is a traditional bauli where they get their water from. So given the restricted and limited supply of water, proposing to equip the village with a traditional flush system became apparent that it was not a viable solution, because providing the fittings and the infrastructure was entirely feasible and possible, but ensuring an adequate flow of water was not, which would essentially render the toilets useless. And given the density of the village, there was no place to properly put a leach field, which is required to decompose the toxic waste as it enters the ground. So we developed a system of a sanitation system that does not require fresh water. We used a system which has already been developed all over India and actually all over the world. It's a system that's actually being used in high-rise apartment buildings in places like Sweden. It's being used in high-altitude desert locations in Ladakh, and it's also being used along the coast of India in places like Tamil Nadu, where the significant villages were destroyed during the tsunami. So this is not a new technology. It's a very known technology, but it's not used very frequently. So essentially it is a system that allows you to use the toilet, to use the facility in exactly the same way. You just need to it separates your solid and liquid waste into two separate containers. The liquid waste gets washed and goes into a plant bed directly, providing essential nutrients for the soil within a contained and enclosed plant bed to prevent other ground areas from getting contaminated. And the solid matter goes straight into a drum, which when full gets removed and placed in the sun to dry. Once dry, it is completely free of bacteria and can be used for fertilization.